Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you're joining us on Facebook, please give us a like, give us a comment, share us with your friends, and same thing on YouTube. But also, please hit that subscribe button. Awesome stuff. I am Glenda Gayle Nicholson, your word witch, dragon slayer, metaphysical practitioner with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, this side, it's where are you at?
I'm right here.
There's Krista. Yeah. With Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. Normally, I'm like in the other spot.
I know. I don't know how that happened.
I can drag me over there, but yeah. Anyway,
Whatever.
So that's Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook, and then of course always supporting us from below, Miss Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris. Wow, this energy we are in the middle of, ladies. Oh, you want to talk about throwbacks? I had a notification on Facebook this morning that someone accepted my invitation to like a particular group that I have not been active in 6 years.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Yeah. So whatever dregs are coming up out of the swamp at you, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
So how's things going with you guys? Damaris, Krista, who wants to go
Here
first?
it's nice. The weather's nice. We had a good time yesterday with those ladies. Just want to mention that.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely. I'll tell you, that was a lot of fun. The Moon and Woo for our Patreon subscribers. We are doing that twice a month. The next one is, Gayle, you said the 27th, if I recall.
The 27th for the new moon.
For the new moon. So if you guys want, you can become Patreon subscribers and join us. And you get to join us in this room. Like, we're all together.
Yes. You can raise your hand and ask questions at any time.
That's right. That's right. And we have a good time doing that. So yeah, that was wicked fun. So I have to share with you guys. Okay, so I have a story. I got off doing our event, our moon, the Moon and Woo, and we ate dinner, and we went out, or Kevin went outside to go borrow something from one of our neighbors, comes back in and says, the peacock is in the courtyard if you want to see it. We have a peacock. We have peacocks and peahens that belong to the castle behind us.
Uh-huh.
And there's been this rogue escapee who keeps roaming the area, right? So last night he actually slept on the roof.
Wow.
Yeah. And we don't have a short building.
Yeah, I'm going to ask about that because just this Sunday at my grandson's football game, my daughter quoted a movie quote that was like, I'm a peacock, let me fly. And the grandmas were both like, they don't fly.
This flew.
Oh my God.
It flew. I have witnessed a peacock flying.
Oh my
yes, I have.
Yep,
yeah, full tail feathers and all. So yeah, so here's the really fun part. So my neighbor, who is in contact with the castle and the people behind us, messages them, hey, the peacock is visiting us again. And so they respond back, oh, great. Would you mind helping us catch it?
Well, you are close.
So, yeah. Well, and then it's like the next, I'm out of town. Can you help us catch it? I'll be back Friday. Can you just put it somewhere safe for next few days? It's Monday. What do you mean the next few days? So then this morning she gets an email. Oh, I mean, and you can help catch it that way.
Oh my.
I don't know how we get. I will tell you this. I'm going to put that on my resume. Peacock catcher.
There you go.
I don't know, but yeah.
That's awesome.
The amazing things that happen here at the farm. It's kind of interesting.
I should get out more.
Maybe, I thought everybody's going around having peacocks in their yard and catching them.
Yeah,
I am. what I did read on, because I Googled last night, and what I did read is mealworms are like chocolate to them. So if you put them out and you put them in the area that you want them to go into, that they'll like run to it, like,
Good strategy. See, you are definitely at the very least an apprentice or novice level peacock wrangler.
There we go, a peacock wrangler. I need. I'm. You know what? I'm going to pull out my Aussie hat. No, I'll wear my best Steve Irwin outfit.
Ooh, I like it.
And then use feather to stage. Use one of the feathers.
Well, I'll tell you, if it grants me and gifts me a feather, oh yes, I will happily take care of that and accept the gift very graciously.
Yeah. She's gonna be out there scaring the crap out of that bird so it drops a feather for her. That's what she's gonna do.
Now, I'll tell you, I think it's doing it. It's stunning. Last night I was taking pictures, but none of them came out really well. So as you guys enjoyed the rest of your afternoon, I chased a peacock a little. I didn't chase him. I was just wanting to observe him in the wild and get an understanding. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and eating your lunch in front of your ex-girlfriend's house every day for a week is not stalking either.
Oh, okay.
I'm just teasing you. Anyway.
Whatever, who knows?
Yeah. Oh, I've just forgive me, guys. My allergies are starting to manifest here. I got away with the first bloom because I think, once you're gone from one climate's not the right word, but one area for a while, and you lose your allergies to the pollens of that area. So I've been in Arizona. First few years I was down there. I didn't have any allergies, and then I developed allergies to the local flora. Now that I'm back up here, it didn't even take a full season, and Michigan's like, I'm home.
Yep, that
to
happens.
My nose,
Yeah, if Genevieve was on watching right now, she'd be like, "Oh, I feel you."
Right?
Yes, I do, because she's like, Genevieve was on watching. Oh, sorry, and I'm repeating myself.
That's our 7-second delay that never gets used when I swear.
Yeah, okay, there you go. But no, she'd be like, that's why I'm not loving living in Virginia, because she's remembering all the allergens, and she's like, now I remember. I'm like, yep, remember?
Yeah. Here in New York too, it's a lot of pollen.
Oh yeah.
The cars are covered. I have a white car, and so it's like it looks green.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my blue car has this beautiful green sheen to it. Oh, and we have this little teeny tiny white flying something right now. I'm not sure what it is. At first I thought it was like seeds, how they float in the air this morning when I saw them. Mm-hmm. And then I really got close and looked, and they were flying. I have no clue what they were, but I did not see them last year.
So they are a European no-see-em?
Maybe, except
because we get those little teeny tinier than gnats, and they just bug you until you're slapping yourself in the face.
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like unbelievable. And then that's why they call them no-see-ems, because you can't see them. You feel them. Yeah, you feel them. It's weird. Anyways. So Damaris, are you ready to tell us all about what's like turning our world upside down?
Oh gosh.
It's crazy stuff. Oh my gosh.
It is.
Here we go.
I definitely missed that music, by the way.
I love our theme music.
I do too. Our theme music is awesome.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So as we all know, there's so much going on simultaneously. We had the lunar eclipse, the full moon. It's just so much, right? But today I want to talk about Mars going into Neptune. And I spoke a little bit about that, I think, yesterday. But Mars is a planet of war, right? And when it's on a negative side, which it has been for a long, long time, it becomes aggressive, compulsive, impulsive. It's really just a sign. Mars just acts. It doesn't really think about anything. It just acts, right? And so now we have it in Neptune, and Neptune is a planet it's the Christ consciousness, is the healing, it's the mysticism, it's the, spiritual sign and planet. And so now we have these two energies, and we sort of have to become more Christ-like. Like I've said, we have to start forgiving, being compassionate, healing whatever wounds, from the past, which is that moon in Scorpio, which is really deep-seated, sorrow or woundings from the past. Like, for example, I can talk about me. My mom died when I was a little kid. And so thank God I've, not that I'm completely healed from that, but thank God I've worked, through that for years. But if I had not, it would be now a perfect time to work through that. Because what happens is we get stuck, we get stunted when we're not healed. We get stuck in that age or that timeline of whenever that happened. And so there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that haven't healed through whatever traumas they've been through. And now it's a perfect time with all these alignments going on for them to do that so that they can move forward and not be stuck or not blame the world for whatever is happening to them. Obviously, when something happens to us, there's a reason for it. And there's a gift within the trauma or the tragedy. There's always a gift. And so, but if we don't find the gift, we always are going to be victimizing ourselves. And so, but, with that Mars energy, it's time to just like soften up. Mars is a masculine energy. It's really, again, it could be aggressive. And so now is a time to be gentle, to be, kind, compassionate to ourselves first. Because if we don't do it to ourselves first, if we don't work on those things first, then we can't be gentle and kind to other people. And so that energy is perfect for that. Then we also have Gemini, the sun going into Gemini, and there's Mercury in Gemini. So now the sun and Gemini, the sun and Mercury, are going to be conjoined, so to speak. And the sun is a life giver. The sun is really, if without the sun, we have no life, right? It's our life force energy. And then Mercury is the planet of the intellect, the mind. And so now we have this life force energy. And I was talking a little bit with Krista before. If, let's say, for example, we don't have a strong intellectual mind, when we hear stories, when we hear news, when we hear a tragedy happening, if we are not strong intellectually, we might take that and go act and do something that we shouldn't be doing. So in other words, if something happens to someone we care about, we can get a bat and go beat up that person. Do you know what I'm saying? The person that hurt our loved one, right? So, and then now we have negative karma for ourselves. I mean, it could go on to so many different things that a person can do if they don't have a strong intellectual capacity, strong intellectual mind. And so with the sun and Mercury conjoined, it is a perfect time also to open up our minds. It's so funny because I was thinking of something someone said, and what they said was something to this. They were saying the mind and a parachute have one thing in common, that if they're not open, they're useless. Unless they're open, they're both useless. So if you jumping out of a plane in a parachute and it's not open, it's useless. You're going to die. You're going to fall. You're going to die. The same thing with the mind. If it's not opened, then you're going to be rigid, and you're not going to be, accepting new ideas and new perspectives. So it could also be useless if you have a closed mind. So that's that. So there's a lot going on, like I said, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, physically, spiritually. All of these levels are being sort of like shaken. And so that Neptune energy, and also Jupiter is there. So Jupiter is also another spiritual kind of planet. And so we have all the tools right now to be able to heal, forgive, and move forward. And forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is key. First, I'm going to say forgiving ourselves for not viewing the situation from, the right angle, if you will, for having a distorted sense of perception, right? Because if we see something distorted, we cannot, see the gift. We can't see the gift. Mm-hmm. So that brings us to the number one, and it's always like it always correlates or it always coincides. So the number one, I see it as a leader, as a pioneer, as an inventor, as a creator. Mm-hmm. The number one is ruled by the sun. And then I was thinking also the tarot cards, right? Mercury is ruled by the magician, and the magician is the first out of the tarot, the major, right? Mm-hmm. Number one. So it's ruled by Mercury. Then we have the sun. So the same thing, the magician, if you look at that card, it has everything on the table. All the tools are right there in front of the magician. It's almost like we have all the tools in the shed, but if we don't use the tools, then they're useless. Mm-hmm. Coming back to that again, right? In order for us to be able to use the tools, we have to become skillful. And so what skills, whatever skills are going to propel us or catapult us into where we're going. So if I want to become a metaphysician, I have to study metaphysics, right? If whatever it is that we want to become an expert at, we have to first, get trained or, become skillful at it. So we have all the tools right now in front of us. And it is up to each of us individually to take the tools and use them for ourselves and other people. The number one also is, it's an initiator. It's someone that starts things. So if you're the only one, say, in your family that, is into spirituality, then you can start, and showing the rest of the family if they're open. Again, we have to have an open mind. But the number one is really an amazing number. It's courageous. It's courageous. It's independent. It's a trail blazer. So you have to, someone had to do it first, and then others follow, right? Thank God for my spiritual teachers, because had they not been first, they couldn't teach me anything. Mm-hmm. And so it's the same thing, but really that's, more or less the analysis that I have today. If we can discuss it, if you guys want.
Nice. Go ahead, Krista.
I was going to say, so you're talking about rigidity, right? And it kind of came, yeah, being, well, and that is a form of, I guess, being, when you're rigid, it can be a rigidity as well. So, but when you're rigid, you lack flow. You lack that ability to move, and I always talk about a tree, right? And you had referred yesterday as the same, it's the same as above as it is below, which is very much the flow of a tree. And it's very much that connection. But the other part, to give people who aren't as connected with nature, because, we do have those people here.
Of course.
Tracy being one of them. Calling her out. But now this time she can defend herself. But now think about buildings that are built in earthquake zones. Mm-hmm. The ones that they build that are really rigid in their structure. And I know you guys are like, why are we talking about buildings and why are we talking about earthquakes? Well, it's the same with when we get caught in that need to be right with where we're at, and we're not having any flexibility. Well, what happens in an earthquake, for those who don't live in earthquake zones, and you have a building that's not built to move with the earthquake and built to move with earth, it kind of collapses everywhere. And she doesn't want to.
She's defending herself.
Yeah, I told you. Getting her to talk. There we go. But yeah, no. So being rigid in your thought, and I get it. And believe me when I tell you, I have grown up with engineers. I have grown up around people who think that, I've been having a conversation with somebody recently, and they're a very intelligent person. And this individual is extremely intelligent. However, they're intelligent in that I'm right and it's hard for them to get beyond that, to expand. I mean, they are trying to expand, but you can tell that it's that kind of expansion that goes like this out, and then it goes boing, and it kind of hits itself.
It's sad, really, because if he's that intellectual, he's very smart. And if he's just fixed in his ways and his ideas, it's very sad. They say that let's say hypothetically there's 7 billion people, there's 7 billion perspectives. And
God, yeah.
We have definitely to sort of like be open. We don't have to agree. We definitely don't. But we have to be able to sort of like listen to somebody else's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the way we grow. That's the way we move. That's the way we develop. That's all about that flow. And that's kind of what I'm understanding, and even like the three of us, we're very open people. Yes. We're open to the possibilities. We want to learn more. I mean, we learn a lot from one another. We learn a lot from our followers as well. However, we're still growing. We haven't, I don't know. I can't speak for either of you. However, I'm like, okay, I'll try something new, or okay, definitely. Maybe, I learned something new today. And it's kind of a really good way to be and have a great perspective. Today, for example, where I live here in the Netherlands, our military base, which is a US one, has opened to our NATO brothers and sisters, if you will, right? And we opened it up, and it was their first time that they could come on. And believe me, it's a lovely little base. The operative word is little. It lets us do some of the things that we need to do. But we're in the commissary, which is our grocery store. And we have all our, NATO foreign nationals. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that many people in there before. It was just crazy, insane. But they wanted to come and see what's the big deal about this commissary that they've heard so much about. And it was great because we're having conversations with people, and they're like, so what do you recommend? What do you like? I'm like, really? Well, where are you from? Maybe that I can help you. Maybe I can help direct you a little more in what avenue you or first.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. If I always say I know nothing. So when I say I know nothing, I'm open to learn everything.
Yeah.
See, now I always say I know too much to think I know it all.
And I'm kind of with probably more Gayle. I mean, I'm open. I don't want to say I know nothing, because then that comes across people, it's like, oh, really?
I say that because then when I say that, then I'm open to learn.
I am open. I create and reinvent.
That's the interesting facet that I want to bring out on all this. Because there's a couple of things that Damaris has already said that I could be like, no, you're wrong, I'm right about, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
But right? Again, perspectives.
Yeah,
it is.
But as far as I know nothing, that way I can learn anything. That's the program that she set up for herself. And that trigger word, nothing, to open her mind and realize that she could learn more right now. Right? Yeah. It's not like a defined that she thinks she's stupid. Right?
Oh no,
it's not that. It's a trigger word to put the mind into. It's time to open now. Right?
Yeah. Right? Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Yeah. And my big thing is I usually say, look, I don't know what I don't know until I realize I didn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because and by the way, that is a plethora of stuff.
I had a really good, if humiliating, moment that illustrates this really, really well. I've been friends with this woman for almost 20 years now. She used to do my hair before I left for Arizona. And I used to do photography and computer work for her. We flew to Hollywood one day and, took pictures for her album cover. And then I went on to do other photography drops on the trip. But we were sitting in front of my computer one day, and I was working on the layout and design for her, whatever it was, marketing or CD cover, whatever. I did a lot of desktop publishing for her back in the late 90s. And she's asking me questions. And I have a thing where when I'm focused on something, a question is distracting because who I am is a question must be answered, right? Yeah. Even when like not being asked of me. Right? So I'm working on it. And the more questions she asks, the more irritated I'm getting in my tone of voice. And it's not because I was mad at her, but because she was distracting me from something I was trying to figure out. And she finally taps me on the shoulder and she's like, hey, don't talk to me like that. If I asked you to mix up your own hair bleach, you'd turn fucking green. And I looked at her like, damn, you're right. My intelligence in a certain area has absolutely nothing to do with your lack of intelligence in that area, but super intelligence in a different area that I lack intelligence in.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
So we got to be kind with each other and realize that we're not all gifted in the same ways.
No.
You know, and many times, especially you can see it among the three of us here, we're all talking about the same thing from a different trajectory.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So no, be kind to one another.
Yeah, especially right now.
Yeah,
especially right now. It's difficult out there, and I gotta say, I'm doing the best that I can to like just sit and be with. But I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of afraid to make a move.
I know. Yesterday, so funny. Yesterday, somebody shared a TikTok video, 2 minute, like a minute video, with this lady on a bus, and she has saran wrap, and she's saran wrapping her area on the bus, like to block, I guess, COVID. And everybody's like, "What the heck is she doing?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like by the time she's done saran wrapping herself, she'll be to her destination. And what's the point? I mean, it was taking her a while to saran wrap herself. And I'm like, I just don't understand. You see, that's where I can't see from her perspective.
I can't. There have been things that I've seen and I've witnessed and I go, now that's really interesting. I wonder, I wonder, but I don't feel like I have to get stuck in it.
Yeah.
I wonder why or what brought somebody to that point.
Fear. I'm only assuming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there has to, I feel like there's always a trail of breadcrumbs that brings you to that level.
Yes.
That level. And so, and that's kind of interesting when people start bringing those phobias really out in public and
not caring who says anything, right? But I have compassion. I really don't understand her perspective, but I do have compassion, and that's really what we need to do is just be compassionate towards people like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Or we could give them a sticker.
That was funny.
That was good.
See the two of them behind the screen cracking up at that.
That was good. That was really good. Well played. Well played.
We gotta walk around with our stickers, and when we see something like that, I'm like, here you go.
Here you go. Have a sticker. It'll make you smile.
Yes.
What was it? I think it was a Facebook meme that somebody said, I walk around with a pocket full of glitter. Just so when I come across a person that really needs to lighten up, I can take a handful out and just at them.
Yeah.
Although, if you find a crazy one, you might get attacked for that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
True.
I just want to sit in the gallery on that trial. How did the woman assault you? With glitter.
Friendly glitter too.
Yes. I couldn't get that shit off my skin for months.
Imagine.
Right? That'd be so much fun.
Remember when we were younger and we'd spray our hair with glitter The glitter hairspray. I mean, I don't know if did you use it, Damaris? The glitter hairspray. Oh yeah. I don't
Only
know.
on Halloween for me.
I'm
I
sure
was
that
very
I
conservative
probably
when I was younger.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably still, if I looked at my scalp, I'm sure there's probably still more there. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. We have something awesome to talk about. The crystal of the week, green aventurine. All righty. Actually, this is kind of fitting. I was kind of trying to feel where Damaris was going with this. And I'm going to pick up on a little bit.
Good.
Of what she was saying, because she went down, about people using fear and being stuck and moving on. So how about if we look at it being less about fear and not being, being stuck, and we look at it from a different point of view. Okay. And we use this, the green aventurine is saying, let's become creative. Because here, green aventurine is really good at getting us unstuck. So, and it's really good at helping us open up and create creative opportunities. And it's really good for fertility and luck. So if you put all three of those together, okay, we usually think fertility, right? Oh, that means you want to get pregnant. No, not necessarily. Could mean that you want to create a nice, lovely vegetable garden or grow beautiful flowers, or it could mean that you're wanting, in terms of fertility and being fertile, that you're cultivating creativity, like through writing, through art. That is fertility as well. Fertility also can come through with your creating a fertile ground for opening up space for friends, opening up space for partnerships, and, opening up a space and place to let love come in or love go out. It can be viewed in many different ways. But when you add it and you make it with creativity and you make it with luck, what I'm getting with this is that in order to move through and let go of those, what the planets are wanting us to let go of, right? Traumas, dramas, problems, whatever. And I'm not downplaying it. This is not me necessarily downplaying it.
A tragedy.
But sometimes if we look at it rather than from the trauma drama situation and say, okay, how can I take that trauma drama, flip it, and become creative with it? And, being creative through art is healing. Being creative through writing is healing. Cooking. Being creative through helping others is also healing. And it's also, and it gives you that sense of purpose. So one of the things that with a lot of people that I've worked with that have had traumas in their life is that they'll get deflated, they'll feel defeated, they'll feel very hurt, and it's emotional and it's physical, and I mean it hits all the levels. But as they're really working towards their healing process and going through it, it's that creativity side that really helps, and it can show up in many different ways. I mean, I turn to creativity and I think of art things, whether it's painting, whether it's sculpting, whether it's, getting crafty, artsy, can be cooking, it can be drawing. I mean, there are all kinds of
playing an instrument is also, being
and it is, and that can be very healing as well. I mean, there are all these things, and what I'm getting the sense is that rather than sitting in that moment of okay, this energy is heavy, this energy is, I grab a piece of paper, grab a coloring book. I love the adult coloring books. I don't have one like that I can grab. Oh wait, I do. So I have adult coloring books. Here's one, like a mandala one, right? Grab that. Just color. And that can be a way to help release, because what you're feeling and what Aventurine wants you to do is it can move. And it doesn't mean you need to
forget. Wait a second. You got to say that again, Krista. You kind of.
Yeah, you got stuck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Say it again.
The Aventurine is wanting you to move that energy, you know, that, and it wants you to get unstuck. It wants you to move forward. And it does that by saying, you know, hey, let's be creative. And if your creativity level is, oh, wait, I can pull out a coloring book and color it and pour that energy through there, it's not being rigid inside of you. It's flowing through you. I saw a meme, or not a meme, placard, or whatever we call them, a picture on Facebook.
A meme.
Yeah, is that all a meme? Okay, so I saw a meme on Facebook, and it was really kind of cool. And it talked about the negative vibrations, right? Fear, trauma, scarcity, survival. Yes. All those are lower vibrations.
Yes.
And it said, you know, these things move through you, you know, and it had this picture of a person and like a river running through their body with all the, you know, boats and boxes and, you know, trauma or this or that. And it's running through them rather than getting stuck in you.
You see, but the thing is too, it depends on the trauma that the person went through.
Yes, and I can understand. Yes, I can appreciate that as well.
Sometimes it's really something really detrimental.
Yes.
You know, and so sometimes they can't get past that. And what happens is they become mentally sick because of what happened. And now we're dealing with other issues then. You know what I mean? So it depends.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So,
well, and that's why they have therapy or like art therapies, and you know, and that's why. And if, you know, I'm like with the Aventurine, it's helping us move that energy in a creative way. And remember that, you know, it also brings in this luck aspect of it. So you're probably like, well, what do you mean by luck? So if you have a little tiny piece of Aventurine, or you can get a small piece, put it in your wallet. Mm-hmm. See what happens. And if you're somebody who has a business and you have a cash register, put it in your register along with a piece of citrine.
And I had that, by the way, in my store.
Don't put pyrite in there. Just put Aventurine and citrine in there. And and that can be luck. But luck is one of those, and fortune and growth. And so you know, for me, I'm getting that we need, and last week is about being creative as well with the citrine and using our energy to get creative, you know, for this energy. And maybe it's because I am Scorpio.
Excuse me a second, guys. I got to take care of somebody. Please keep talking. I'll be right.
Okay.
You know, maybe it is about the, you know, the energy of,
well, you know, you were saying the moon was in Scorpio, right? So it's a water sign. I feel like water cleansing and purification is really important too, to help people, you know, get past things or go with the flow, like you were saying.
Yeah, and that's what that whole meme was about, is it's like letting it flow through you rather than get stuck.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, now, does it mean it's a one and done? Never.
No, it's a process.
So it can be a really big process, but I've also known people, like I had a client down in Australia, and she started drawing, and it was amazing to see the shift and change in her just by drawing.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was able to get from this almost crippling, she's almost like paralyzed in herself. Mm-hmm. To not. I mean, and she lost, I don't even know how many. I want to say she said she lost, it was well over 30 pounds. And it all happened in because she was letting go of everything.
Yes.
And it all happened very quickly. And Aventurine was one of the stones that, of course, helped. Drawing was another. She, rather than being in that being rigid, she started to flow.
Yeah.
And started to feel that that energy in the move. Yes. And the movement, and understand the importance of that movement.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I, for me, that's kind of where I'm going. And here's the other aspect of what citrine, it connects with the element of air. I mean, not citrine, aventurine. It connects with the element of air. So we're talking about, what does air do? It moves.
It moves.
And just like water, it moves. Fire moves, but fire is more of a hot burn, when you think of the elements. But air moves. And so when you're connecting with stones that have that element, and you connect with that element that they are also connected with, it kind of helps you understand where it is you're supposed to be, or how you're supposed to be shifting and moving.
Yeah, I like that. With a shift of the mind, everything changes,
It is. And that's why, I said, for me, I'm taking it from a different perspective.
Of course.
Your pie piece is here, my pie piece is here.
And it's all good.
Yep. And it is. And it is. And, everyone deals with everything, and again, differently. And some people, don't deal with it at all. Not dealing with it, by the way, FYI, not a good thing, because guess what happens? Eventually it catches up to you and it bites you in the ass.
Yes. Yeah. I like that Aventurine. It's green too. The one that you share.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's green.
Yeah.
It is.
I never showed that.
Oh, sorry.
My bad. I'm so sorry. Here we go. There's a really beautiful picture.
So
of it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So
that's a stunning photo. I like that one.
Yeah.
I do. I like that. So we're doing, overall, Aventurine is always a great one to have on hand, whether it's little, whether it's a bracelet. I go through. So it's funny. I'll get Aventurine bracelets, and they're one of the ones that break on me quite a bit. So if you wear a crystal bracelet, just going to let you know, and it breaks, that means that job is done.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get upset. If you want, you can rethread it, but you have to give those crystals a different intention.
Yeah.
Okay. What I do with them when they break is I take the crystals and I repurpose them in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Making jewelry is a nice craft too.
It is a really great craft. It is. It really is. Yes. I've been making malas.
Ooh. I know this lady that makes the rosary beads, but with the gemstones. And she sells them. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
That's wonderful. Yes.
Awesome stuff.
It is. It's all good stuff. Are you ready to go, Miss Gayle?
In a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
You were talking about malas. I didn't make it, actually. A girlfriend of mine back in Arizona made a mala on my direction.
Okay.
We were doing a protection mala for empaths.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a few years ago when it was a big deal that empaths were getting suckered in by narcissists. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Buzzword of the week kind of thing, So at any rate, she made this mala, and it didn't feel like I should be wearing it around my neck or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I hung it on the rearview mirror of my car.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That very next weekend, we were coming back from California, and there was a Hummer that was driving erratically, and I looked over at Bill and was like, watch out for him. This is going to be an accident. Watch out for him. And less than 3 miles later, the Hummer was in front of us, ran into the vehicle in front of them.
Oh, wow.
And we were like so very close that we got transmission fluid on our windshield from this Hummer.
Wow.
As it was like trying to avoid and went into the ditch kind of thing. But here's the thing. When that happened, time kind of dilated.
Yeah.
And the vehicle that was to our right eased over, like I say eased, but we were all going like 70 miles an hour, right?
Oh, no, I get it.
It opened up this lane. Bill was able to drive around the accident that had just happened. And it was like NASCAR being in the car, seeing this lane open up and us able to go around and so on. And that Mala has been in my vehicle ever since. Because it was almost as if we were in this protective bubble.
Yeah.
That, you know, even as we were avoiding the accident in front of us, we didn't go into another accident, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes I guess I just put that out there because sometimes the malas that we have in our lives can be used for so many different things. I mean, hang it on your living room wall to protect your home. Yeah. You know, in your car, on your person, whatever the case may be, because those in conjunction with each other are really, really positive things.
Yeah.
All right. So yesterday, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said, all right.
Okay.
All right. And I said, I like it.
Awesome. So yesterday we did the first of many of our Moon and Woo events for our Patreon members. And if you'd like to know more about that, Chris is going to tell you in a second. But I invite you personally, go to patreon.com/3 Crones and the Woo Woo. It's only $4. Sign up because just at the very beginning of what we're doing over there, we're adding on, it's almost like a private show for our Patreon people. Yeah. They get to be on the screen. They get to interrupt us and ask questions, or challenge us with asking questions, you know, or just dropping tidbits that all of us learn from as a group, right? It's only $4 a month. And, you know, not only do you get this free 3 Crones in the Woo Woo broadcast every Tuesday, right? But you get the new moon and the full moon Ask Me Anythings inside Patreon. All right. So, Krista, take it away.
Excellent. Yeah, I really, look, yay! We have more names. I'm so excited. Yes. So yeah, I would love to invite you, just like Gayle said, to become a Patreon member. And we are with each new member and with each week. Seriously, yesterday we kept saying, this is a dress rehearsal. This is our first. And I mean, and you can watch us grow with this. Those of you who've been watching us since the beginning of 3 Crones will know, well, you know, we've had quite the learning curve. Well, guess what? New platform, new technology. Guess what we have? Another learning curve. But we're doing it, and we're just trying, and we're laughing. Now, I will say, you don't like to laugh, you don't like to get cheeky, then this is not going to be for you. I'm just going to say, you know, it's kind of like watching 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. It isn't for you, but we do appreciate the fact you watch us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. No. But yeah, seriously. And here's the really cool part in the upcoming ones. I'll be traveling. So you're going to get to see some inside travel stuff on top of it. Awesome. So there you have it. And eventually we'll get Gayle traveling because she's all ready to go.
I'm getting there. Sorting and organizing and figuring out what's essential and what's not essential. You know, right now is the perfect time to be letting go of the things that really don't serve me. Yeah. You know,
I do know.
We'll get into all of that in a little bit, but I have to say it's kind of funny because they say that your entire first 2/3 of your life is all about acquiring things, and the last third is all about letting them go, right?
Yeah.
And I've done enough, you know, abandonment stuff and, you know, creating my own space stuff enough that it's always been really difficult for me to let go of things. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily that I'm a hoarder, but I am very sentimental. So
I get that.
There's things that I don't need anything but this chair. I hope any of you are old enough to understand where that quote's from. Anyways, so But let's talk a little bit about the card of the day, which is going to surprise you, I think.
The Hermit.
Oh, the Hermit. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So today really is about taking those moments, right, to really go within. Take a look around. What is it that you truly dream of? Right? What is it that your heart desires? Take a look at all of that. Let me get the actual reading from Galaxy Tarot. Because for me, whenever I see the Hermit card, and here's the interesting thing about this. I was talking with somebody who's fairly new to reading the other day, and he was just putting stuff out there, and I'm like, but that really doesn't have anything to do with the cards. And he says, well, I just talk about what comes up for me. And I'm like, okay, well, check in. Is that thinking about what comes up for you coming from your brain or coming from your intuition? Mm-hmm. Right? So you Absolutely. Have to, you have to basically know the basics of the cards before you can start extrapolating, because you have to know that you're on the right track with the energy that card carries. Right?
Yes. Agreed.
So when I start seeing a card like the Hermit, right? Mm-hmm. Those of you who read tarot know this. You start looking at the imagery. We've got the 9, we've got the light, we've got him standing on, the mountain, so to speak. And so it's all about isolation. Mm-hmm. It's all about what you can see from your perspective in isolation.
Love that.
You have the tools. He's got a walking stick, right? He has the tools to go anywhere that he's led to go, anywhere that he sees in front of him. But there's nothing else around. It's all about isolation. So here's the reading from Galaxy Tarot. Solitude is your friend today. Make sure you get plenty of alone time and get to know yourself. What you learn will help you in more ways than you know. Right? Yeah. So that is that card for today. Going within, doing the meditation, whatever way that you meditate. And maybe not so much a matter of visualizing what you want, right? There's my checklist. Here's my shopping list from the universe. These are the things that I want in my life. But today, take a few moments and ask universe to show you your highest and best life, and just go with the flow with that. Is that showing you stuff that's not on your universal shopping list? Is the stuff that's on your universal shopping list what they're showing you? Because in a lot of cases, we tend to ask for, to manifest, the things that we think we're supposed to want. But we weren't designed to want that. And we segue into today's creative commands. Inspired action makes miracles. So again, going into that meditational mindset, right? And asking for, what is my best and highest life? What would I be doing if I was living my best and highest life? All right. Now, like Damaris was talking about, we've got those planets going on right now, right? So we've got Mercury conjoined to the sun.
Yeah.
Right. And that's in Sagittarius, right?
In Gemini.
In Gemini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gemini is going on the 20th. The sun is going into the sign of Gemini, and it's going to conjoin Mercury retrograde.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So we've got kitty. Yes. Not distracting at all. All right, so we've got that dynamic going for us, right? So again, I'm going to take what Damaris has talked about, and I'm going to take it from slightly different trajectory, point of view. Okay.
Yeah.
So Gemini, the twins. There's going to be two sides that you can see both of them, right? It's not a light dark. It's not a light hidden thing. They're both there. Right. So you're going to have two major choices, and it's not going to be easy to put into words. Right. It's a matter of action. That Mars that action taker, right? So it's not necessarily going to come from words, logic, your brain. It's going to come from inspired action. It's going to come from that. I don't want to call it an itch because it's not an itch. It's a nudge to take a different way home, or to do something slightly different than you'd done before, right? And all of that together is going to give you the opportunity to see, if I go this way, what's my life going to be like in 5 years? If I go this way, what's my life going to be like in 5 years? And then that burning urge to get up off your ass and go take an action, just any action, whatever action will further the conversation that moment, that 1% trajectory change that's going to change the entire outcome ultimately, right? Just taking that one action will move you forward. Now, we're also talking about the Aventurine, right? The clarity, the luck, right? That energy, that green growth energy that allows us to go further in business. I've had, it's a little tiny glass beads. They're not glass beads. They're citrine beads. Aventurine. Yeah, that you can make bracelets out of. I've had strands of them in my crystal box for over 2 years that I have not done anything.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was what they were bought for, was business. But exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, they're still good, right?
They're absolutely still good. They're absolutely still good. But I have been in a mode of, some people might want to call it stuck. It's not. It's not stuck. I mean, if I'm stuck, I stuck myself, right?
Yeah.
It's indecision. It's if I do this, is it going to work out? And if I do that, am I going to be embarrassed? Right? That type of thing. So I have all of those tools, like the magician you were talking about. I have all of those tools on my table, and I'm not using them. Why?
Yeah.
Right? Why? So I want you to ask yourself that question as well. If you've got all of these tools at your fingertips in your life, and you feel stuck about whatever it is that's going on in your life that doesn't want to shift.
Yeah.
Right? Why would that be? Let me interrupt you. Who cares? Why? Who cares why?
That's the wrong question to be asking.
Exactly. What can you do in this moment? There's a better question.
Question.
Why? Right? What can I do? What's possible here that I never thought I could do? What's possible here that might be fulfilling or fun? Oh my gosh, why would we do things just for fun? Right? What is it that you could let go of to make space for what you really dream of?
I love that.
And right there, isn't that everything that we're dealing with in a nutshell? That is the $100,000 question.
Yes.
What can we let go of? All of this eclipse energy, all of this,
lunar,
all the stuff we've been doing over this past week, identifying what it is that we can release to make space for that inspired action that creates miracles. Right? So again, I'm back to, that's your assignment for this week. Definitely pull in the Aventurine energy. Definitely work with the energies that are being given to us literally by the heavens, right? Yeah. And take a few moments to go within and ask, what does my best and highest life look like? And what can I release to make space for inspired action that can create a miracle? Write that down.
I love that.
I love that. That's wonderful. That is. I like it. Yes.
All right. So now we get to say congratulations to this week's Woo Woo Giveaway winner. Woohoo! Miss Sue Senden.
Yay!
Being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo, please reach out to Damaris or myself or Krista to collect your prize. Now, for those of you who were like, oh, they give away prizes here? I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so all you got to do basically is join the group, right?
Yeah.
And like, comment, and share this broadcast. And then if you happen to be chosen to be the Woo Woo giveaway winner of the week, wow, that's good. That's really good. Then all you have to do is reach out over Facebook Messenger to the one of the 3 of us. Now, if you want Krista to do your reading, she does crystal readings, and they are amazing. They really are.
They really are.
Yes.
She loves crystals.
Oh my gosh.
I do.
I was, yesterday I was reading over the crystal reading that you did for me last July. And it was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's still showing up, but sorry, I digress. If you want me to do your reading, it will be an intuitive tarot reading, or it will be an EFT tapping session, Miracles on Tap. More bang for your buck, go for the EFT. It lasts longer.
There you go.
And then if you want Damaris to do your reading, then, it will be astrology, numerology, or intuitive tarot as well. And she's really good with this stuff. Okay. So, Sue, thank you so much for being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. Congratulations on your win. And, I can't wait to hear from you soon, or Krista, or Damaris.
Or Damaris.
Awesome. All righty. So then, I almost forgot about this. Order your 3 Crones in the Woo Woo stickers, please. You get an unlimited edition pack of 4 for only $10. And then you can pay for it at dgk3@venmo.com. Fabulous. I want to say thank you again to everyone who joined us today, to my compatriots here, Krista and Damaris. I love you girls so very, very much. Hang in there with all of this energy and work towards the highest and best life for all this week.
Yes.
Thanks again, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.